Magnificat anima mea Dominum,
et exsultat spiritus meus in Deo salutari meo.
Welcome to the new episode of the theme Centuries of Avila, Mother of Interior Souls. Prayer in the Christian tradition is a love affair with God. According to Centuries of Avila, to pray to God means to love God. When someone says, "I long to pray," it means I walk love-sick with my God. We have here a reflection of Psalm 42. Like the deer that yearns for running streams, so my soul is yearning for you, my God. My soul is thirsting for God, the God of my life. When can I enter and see the face of God? In prayer, Jesus is my love interest, and God is my love partner. It is the love story between God and man. Through prayer, I become God intoxicated, a passionate lover of Jesus. This love aspect is compared by Saint Teresa to the look hailing from mutual love of two friends. She writes, "Just so in this life, two persons of reasonable intelligence who love each other dearly seem unable to understand each other without making any signs merely by their looks. This must be so here, for without seeing each other, we look at each other face to face as these two lovers do." About this affective aspect of prayer, she writes in another place, "With so good a friend, Jesus, so good a captain at our side, who came forward first of all to suffer, one can bear everything. He helps us, He gives us strength, He never fails, He is a true friend." This concept of prayer as love has gone so deep into the Carmelite tradition that Saint Teresa of Lisieux defines prayer as looking at God. In fact, the Catechism of the Catholic Church puts a question, "What is prayer?" And Saint Teresa of Lisieux is quoted, "Prayer is looking at God." We do not linger often in another's gaze unless we are lovers. Looking longer than a few moments implies intimacy. We are laying ourselves open. We are letting down our guard. Little flower is adamant that in God's presence she will not do as the seraphim. All of them cover themselves with their wings before God. I will be very careful not to cover myself with my wings. She means by this that while I remain looking at God, I will never do what God does not want me to do, and I will always do what God wants me to do. Also, God also will do what I want Him to do. Shortly before her death, she wrote, "Jesus, you are my love. You are my first love, and you are my only love." To Saint John Maria Vianney, a peasant who used to spend long time before the Blessed Sacrament, said, "I look at him, he looks at me." Saint John of the Cross says, in prayer, the soul kisses God. According to Saint Teresa of Avila, love is the essence of Christian prayer. In the definition of prayer, she gives emphasis on the affective element So the saint writes, the important thing is not to think much, but to love much. Do then whatever most arouses you to love. Hence, for St. Teresa, every method of prayer is welcome, provided it helps you elicit affections. If you can pray by reading, do that. By singing, do that. By clapping the hands, do that. She continues to say, perhaps we do not know what love is. Love consists not in the extent of our happiness, but in the firmness of our determination to try to please God in everything and to endeavor in all possible ways not to offend Him and pray Him ever to advance the honor and glory of His Son and the growth of the Church, Catholic Church. So we must try our best to make more acts of love in our prayer time. It is with this in view, the Catechism of the Church gives the prayer of St. John Maria Vianney as a pattern for our prayer. In this short prayer, we find the word love 9 times. Here is the prayer of the Saint Vianney. I love you, O my God, and my only desire is to love you until the last breath of my life. I love you, O my infinitely lovable God, and I would rather die loving you than live without loving you. I love you, Lord, and the only grace I ask is to love you eternally. My God, if my tongue cannot say in every moment that I love you, I want my heart to repeat it to you as often as I draw breath. There are 2 factors that discolor the love aspect of prayer. One is the wrongly understood the scientific and technological progress. Schillebeeckx narrates a story of a Dutch boy who refused to say grace before meals. When chided by his father, the boy said, "Why should I say, 'Give us this day our daily bread'? After all, it is you who earn the money and provide all these things to me." The attitude of this boy reflects the attitude of the contemporary man who refuses to think of God on account of his self-sufficiency created by the enormous progress of science and technology. The second factor is felt helplessness. There are times when a man is driven to accept his helplessness on being faced perhaps by an incurable disease, financial problems, loss of reputation, misunderstanding, and so on. In these situations, some of these persons turn to novena centers expecting miraculous favors. In novena centers, prayer is often presented as petitionary prayer. Eventually, people tend to identify the whole phenomenon of prayer as one of petition. A person who has a sense of self-sufficiency does not feel the need to pray as he isn't in need of anything. It is not merely the progress of science and technology that takes a man away from God, but also the fact that in the midst of this progress, prayer is presented solely as a petitionary prayer, which is a distorted notion of Christian prayer. Prayer is a phenomenon of love, and everyone would long to get the lover of a superior being, to get associated with a person of a very high social standing. And prayer means that we can give our love to God and we can experience God's love for us. A man, even with a sense of self-sufficiency, will long to pray provided he gets a genuine notion of prayer as experiencing God's love in exchange of ours. Hence, it is not the scientific and technological progress as such that deters a man from communing with God, but rather the fact that in the context of the advance of science, we fail to give a true and complete picture of prayer, namely, a prayer, a phenomenon by which we give our love to God and experience God's love for us. God alone will satisfy our hunger and thirst for Him, as Saint Augustine exclaims, because you have created us, our hearts are restless until they rest in you. Thank you.